Good morning and welcome. This is your Morning Manna. This week we're going through the Psalms and looking at some of the proclamations and these songs and prayers. And there's this awesome and great quote by A.W. Tozer we talked about earlier this week that says, "What comes to mind when we think of God is the most important thing about man." And when you really think about it, how we view God in our circumstances will oftentimes shape how we respond in those circumstances. Throughout this week, we've looked at a few Psalms that told us, God, you are my rock. And again, not that he's a literal rock, but how proclaiming that brings us strength and security. We also looked at, God, you are my light and my hope, and how that brings us clarity and vision and peace. Today is probably my favorite one. We proclaim today, God, you are my Father. And unlike some of the other ones and some of the other ways of looking God that we've explored throughout this week, God actually is our Heavenly Father. And as we walk closely with God and look throughout His Word, we can see the Father heart of God displayed over and over again for His people, for me and for you too. And one of the best evidences we have of this is the gospel. God deals with us as His children, not as sin deserves. Psalm 103 verse 13 says, "As a father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear Him." And don't be turned off by that word fear. This fear we have of God is out of reverence for who He is. One of my favorite illustrations of this is in the movie The Chronicles of Narnia, when the young girl Lucy is first hearing about Aslan, the lion, the king of Narnia. She begins to wonder about him. She asks the beaver, "Is he safe?" And the beaver responds, "Oh no, he's not safe, but he's good." In this way, we can look at God as the Father, as good as well. Psalm 32 verse 8 says, the psalmist speaks from the perspective of God the Father. It says, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you." Just like a father, our God is gently leading us and guiding us in the way while He looks after us. And probably one of my favorite Psalms, Psalm 68 verse 5 says, "Father of the fatherless and protector of the widow is God in His holy habitation." I love this. You know, maybe your upbringing has not been the best, or maybe you have not known what the love of a father looks like. God sees you, and He wants to father you right where you are, as you are. And you know what? Maybe you've had a great childhood and a great home filled with love. Well, God is calling you to be a son or a daughter to Him as well. I can assure you, where any father falls short, God won't. It's been great walking through the Psalms with you this week. Tomorrow, we're going to walk through all these from a different point of view. You don't want to miss it. See you tomorrow.